after I get us full screen. There we go. Right. We should be live. We should be. Welcome, everyone, once again, to your 15th favorite wrestling podcast.
I don't think it should be 15. I think it should be number 1.
It's up from like 26 last week, dude. We're making progress.
I didn't know that.
We're making progress. We're getting there.
We're on Anchor FM?
Oh, hell, I don't know. I'm just making this shit up as I go.
Well, don't do that. Be nice. Be good.
Also, need to issue an apology. I know we were going to start with something else, but I just thought of something. So there's been talk of a contest, and I have admittedly dropped the ball on that. So to make it up for everyone, I'm going to restructure it and extend it.
Okay.
So here's the skinny. So before we were talking about just doing wrestling impressions, but then I had an idea. So this contest is going to be, once again, there's going to be a first, second, third, and fourth place winner. So you have 4 opportunities to win something. If I'm remembering, yeah, okay. So first place was you get your one of the boxes, the mystery boxes from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yep.
Second place is a botch box.
Yep.
From Pro Wrestling Tees. Third place is a down the middle T-shirt.
Yep.
And then fourth place is the medium-sized Bear Country T-shirt that I got from Pro Wrestling Tees and do not want at all.
Who's Bear Country?
Exactly. You know, I was very disappointed. The other 2 shirts were pretty cool, but that one was just a letdown. Anyway, so the contest is going to be, you are going to give your best down-the-middle plug impersonating a professional wrestler. This can be any professional wrestler, past, present. Obviously, you can't do future, but...
Well, pretty much what you're stating is like you're impersonating a professional wrestler, promoting the Down the Middle podcast.
Exactly. And bonus points for being funny, because I love funny stuff, but you should pick a wrestler that we will recognize.
I think I'm not saying do this, but I guarantee 9 times out of 10, everybody's going to pick the same one.
Yeah. What?
No. That's not what I was going to go with. I was going to go with Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe you could. Both would be a good choice, brother, but, you got to go with the Macho Man, brother. Oh, yeah.
That's actually not bad.
Especially if you got a Slim Jim.
Never do a Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it can be as long as you want, brother. It can be 3 minutes of playtime, brother. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
All right. So that will be the contest, and we are going to run it until January 31st.
All right.
So you guys have plenty of time. Now, I'm going to upload a video in the next couple of days to show you guys how to submit your recordings, because it is a little weird, but it's easy once you know how to do it. So there will be a video coming up on the channel to show you how to do it, or you can go ahead and try going to anchor.fm/ the Down the Middle podcast page on Anchor, and go ahead and try it, because there's just a button there. You can try to figure it out, or you can wait for the video. It's up to you guys. There's no penalty for submitting first or last. We're just going to judge them based on what we like. So you've got no reason to rush. So anyway, the piece of news that we were originally going to start out with. So Jade Cargill liked my tweet. I totally get why people are on Twitter now. And I hate Twitter. But I was watching Rampage, and I want to start, maybe when we get more followers, we'll start doing like live tweeting sessions, but I usually can't watch the programs live anyway. But I was watching Rampage this morning, and Jade Cargill had that match against Thunder Rosa's student. Oh my God, I feel so bad. I can't remember her name. The kicking demon. Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway, I feel bad, but I can't remember. But anyway, I believe my exact tweet was, how about Jade Cargill on AEW Rampage? And she liked it. So Jade, thank you. And you know, when you're super bored, you can maybe watch the podcast, because I don't think we've ever said anything negative about Jade ever.
We don't. No, we don't say nothing negative.
Well, that's true. We don't say anything negative. But like, I'm a big fan of Jade Cargill. I have been since they were starting the promos with their, like, I mean, yeah, granted, I think we've said at one point or another that she's got a little bit of polish to do, but I don't think anyone would dispute that. I don't think Jade would dispute that. But what she's done thus far has been really, really impressive and really, really entertaining to watch. Plus, Smart Mark Sterling is like awesome.
I love Mark.
I love Smart Mark Sterling.
Silver balls.
Oh my god.
If you don't get that reference, do you get that reference?
I get that reference.
Okay. If none of you, sure, anybody who's anybody by now knows who Smart Mark Sterling is, especially from the Major Wrestling Figure podcast. You know, shout out by the way. You know, Matt Cardona and everybody else. They're just amazing.
Speaking of Matt Cardona and Twitter, he put out a tweet a couple days ago about December to Dismember, saying it was the greatest ECW pay-per-view of all time, and that he was so happy that he was an ECW original. Is he trolling? Because I think he's trolling.
Well, I mean, he has to be. He was on the pay-per-view.
Yeah. I know that, but I guess right. I think this goes back to him dressing like Vince McMahon did when Vince McMahon was the ECW champion.
All right, he was. I mean, yes, he was trolling because it's like I watched that pay-per-view. That pay-per-view sucked.
Oh, December to Dismember?
Yes.
Yeah, and it could have been good. It could have. They'd have to rebook the entire show, but based on who was there, if they'd done it Paul Heyman's way.
Well, remember, that was technically Paul Heyman's way.
I mean, come on. Do you believe that?
He was technically sort of booking it at the time.
Yeah, kind of sort of booking it with Vince McMahon looking over his shoulder being like, well, you can't push that guy. He's under 6'5".
Crap. Well, right now, I have a listener here who's telling me to do something, and I can't really do it right now. So, he's not in the chat either. Certain listener messaged me privately.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Average Intelligence Podcast. Ben has headphones, don't you?
I do, but I don't have them with me right now.
Ah, okay. I was going to say, last week's podcast sounded great.
Then we're going to go a little tour.
We're going to go what?
We're going to go a little walking me tour.
Oh, a little walking detour. Anywho.
But yeah, he's not an ECW original.
Yeah, I know. He's not. That was back when he was part of the Major Brothers.
No.
Was it not?
No, this was after.
Oh, yeah. But I mean, like, that's where he got... I guess you're right. Yeah, that is where he... that was after they broke them up. You're right. I try to forget that period.
We're over there.
Oh, he's getting his headphones.
Yes.
Eric, what the fuck are you talking about? Eric just said, it's me, haha, fired Ben, Mario Brothers. What are you talking about? Dude, you need to take a nap, man. This moving thing's got you delirious. The mental state, not the wrestler.
No, that's who's the person that's talked about getting headphones.
No, I'm talking to Eric.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, Major Brothers. No, they're a wrestling tag team. Although, I think that if the Major Brothers had done a Mario gimmick, it would have been a lot more entertaining.
No. The person who texted me privately was the Average Intelligence Podcast.
Ah. That's what I was talking about. He's concerned. He just wants the show to be good.
Is it better now? Average Intelligence?
Much. But speaking of which, we missed you, average intelligence on the Thursday show. I had to do it all myself, and I was a blithering idiot. Yeah, thanks for looking out, buddy. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, Jade Cargill's awesome.
That went to Matt Cardona, but
oh yeah, we were talking about Matt. Well, Jade Cargill's bigger than Matt Cardona, not physically, but actually she might be.
Well, all right.
She may be taller. She may be taller than him. How tall is Matt Cardona?
I don't know, like maybe 6'1", 6'2".
That'd be hilarious if Jade Cargill was taller. I'm gonna look this up because now I gotta know. Oh, his Wikipedia page is still under Zack Ryder. 6'2".
Haha.
And Jade Cargill. Please be 5'10". Damn, I was hoping she was 6'3". She looks a lot taller on TV. That's probably just because a lot of the AEW women's roster is like 5'2" and below.
I mean, minus Nyla Rose.
Mostly, not all. But even Nyla Rose, I think Nyla Rose is actually shorter than appearances say.
That's true.
I will say the first time I saw Dynamite live, not the last time we went, but the time before they were in Indy, I couldn't get over how small some of them were, like, in person. Oh my God, Nyla Rose is 5'7".
Really?
I'm taller than Nyla Rose.
Oh, well. We gotta look at some of the women that do have the roster,
like Riho.
The Japanese women.
Yeah, Riho.
And Kira Shikata? Shihata. Sorry. I apologize, ladies and gentlemen.
Who?
Akira Shikata.
Who?
She was the other Japanese wrestler to hold the AEW Women's title.
You mean Hikaru Shida?
That's it.
Okay, I was like, who are you talking about?
Hikaru Shida. That's it. I didn't mean to damage the name. I apologize.
It's okay. For a minute there, it looked like their booking was going to damage the name, but they ended up making it okay.
So
is it just me, or do you think that do you agree with me in saying that Shida had that title just a little bit too long?
She did, but it went to the right person.
Agreed. I'm not hating on the wrestler. I'm hating on the booking, and I'm not really hating on it. I'm just kind of like it felt like Shida as champion just kind of overstayed her welcome a bit. It was starting to get stale.
But you got to think though, when they had it, when she had it,
who else was there?
Hold on. When she had it, when a lot of other champions had the belts, it's hard to get people over as a champion with no crowd.
True.
So a lot of this is during COVID time. So, and for me personally, okay, because I've wrestled in front of crowds, and I've wrestled in front of no crowds. You know, we do the internet stuff and everything with our shows and everything. But even then, when we have the crowd, it helps a lot better.
Oh yeah.
To get ourselves over, face or heel, especially as a champion.
Oh yeah.
And when you don't have a crowd to work with, especially a lot harder to how can we do this we still have to make it work to get ourselves over, but so in essence, COVID happening, especially still now, didn't help. But
oh yeah.
She still tried to make it work with what she had. So, and that's why I give her props.
Oh yeah, I give her massive props, but yeah, that's a good point.
But I get what you're saying though. Like she was champion a little too long, and even though AEW is still trying to find tweaks of making everything work, I'm not disagreeing with this either. Them keeping champions a little too long, needs to start going. Okay.
Well, to me, it seems like the TNT Championship seems to be pretty good in terms of how long people have it, and the AEW World Title.
I'm not saying it needs to change hands like constantly within the year, but like they need to go a lot more of changing hands than just once a year.
I'm not sure. I don't really know because I like the fact that we've only had 4 champions thus far, and it's been 3 years. But at the same time, I can see why, because you're going to run into a booking problem, especially when you're bringing people in like Bryan Danielson and CM Punk and even Jay Lethal and Adam Cole, because all of these guys, and there are many others, I'm just talking about recent additions, all of these guys are viable world champions.
Right.
Like, I'm not sure how they're going to book, because I don't think Hangman's going to lose the title, but that seems kind of odd considering who he's facing for it. Like, you would think on a normal day, Bryan Danielson would be able to take Hangman, but like I said, I don't know how they're going to book it, but
that's what I'm saying. Like, you need to have more consistency on changing champions, per se. Like, I understand because they only have the 4 pay-per-views a year. I get that. They're not, like bundled with a pay-per-view every freaking month. I get that. I do. But you still need to go with the consistency of more champions in a year time frame. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like I understand we only had 4 champions, but I think up by now we could have been like on numbers 6 or 7.
Yeah, I don't dispute that. I know I understand what they were doing with Kenny though, which again I think that kind of overstayed its welcome. Not so much that he was the champion and a belt collector, just that. The booking of it, the specifics of it, how he was behaving. Because if he had been like a legitimate asshole heel, it would have been one thing. But instead, he just turned into kind of a sniveling doofus.
Well, I think and I think the payoff on all of it for Hangman to win it finally, it worked. I get why they didn't give it to Hangman sooner because he left. He left because of the baby and everything, and they wanted to make sure Hangman got it. I get that. Now, it's the point of, okay, I understand you're trying to be different than what WWE does or what any other company does, but it needs to start being more consistent on title changes.
Yeah,
go ahead. I was going to say, because even then, the tag titles, they were definitely long on finally getting rid of the belts. But when Hangman and Kenny won them, they didn't hold them that long.
But it seemed like they did in a good way. It seemed like they had them for a while because that team came out of nowhere and nobody expected that. But their match quality, like to this day, I think their match with the Bucks on the first Revolution pay-per-view is still one of my favorite tag matches ever.
Well, right, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, they held it for a certain amount of time, but they were mostly booked in like the multi-tag matches.
Yeah,
except where they couldn't really defend them, and they're also starting their feud to go for them to go together. Their feud laid down there for the world title.
Right.
I'm just saying in general, like you look at the year 2000, when it came to the world title. It might have changed a lot to a degree, but it worked.
Well, because they had such a deep talent roster that any one of those guys could be world champion on any given day.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's where AEW is going. Because like I said, you've got your Hangmans, you've got your Omegas, you've got Danielson, Punk, Lethal. You've still got Jericho, and you'll have Mox back eventually. Like there's so many people that even if they're not there now, very soon they will be. Like, it's not going to be too long before MJF is in the legitimate world title picture. Even I don't know that Darby's there yet, but I don't think it'd be too long before he could go for it.
Year.
Yeah.
I give him.
Yep. I wouldn't disagree with that.
Speaking of MJF, not MJF, Darby Allin. Sorry. Did you notice? You seen a little bit of surfer sting on Dynamite this past week. Well, he teamed with Darby Allin.
Surfer Sting? Against the Gun Club, yeah, but what about Surfer Sting?
He dyed his hair a little bit blonde.
Well, that's just to get rid of the gray, I think. But
well, he was dyed it black just to get rid of the gray, but he dyed it partly blonde for that tag match.
I did not notice that.
Yeah. They didn't fight the Gun Club. Sorry, they didn't fight the Gun Club. They fought the Ass Boys.
Yeah,
I know you know what I'm referencing.
Yes, I know what you're referencing. But we mentioned we both mentioned MJF. How could I forget that awesome on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, that awesome verbal exchange between Punk and MJF?
Oh, it was amazing.
Oh, that was awesome. And I was listening to Jim Cornette and Brian Last talk about it, and Brian Last made a very good point. He's like, we were 20 minutes into the show. Like, that was a 20-minute segment. And it didn't feel like it at all.
And then the next week, which will go into the thing you want to talk about, is WWE tried to recreate it, and it didn't work.
I wouldn't know. I haven't watched WWE for weeks. I've tried. I just can't.
Okay. They set up for Edge and Miz to start feuding.
Well, actually, that could be good if they let them do their thing, but they're not going to let them do their thing. So,
well, hold on. Here's the thing: they're setting up for Edge and Miz to start feuding. And what's funny is Maurice is back on TV, and tonight is War Games, and tonight is Beth Phoenix's last time on commentary.
Oh, tonight is War Games.
But tonight's Beth Phoenix's last night on commentary.
Oh, is she gonna probably do something on air with Edge?
Well, that's what me and a buddy of mine were thinking.
Probably.
They might, if they left this last long enough to Mania, which I don't know if they could. I'm not saying they could.
They can, but will they?
Right. And he thinks that if they do, then it will be a mixed tag between the Edge and Beth against Maurice and Miz.
And there it is. As opposed to a world title, which both of them have held, by the way, on multiple occasions.
Well,
we're gonna
more than the other.
Yeah, but we're gonna culminate in a mixed tag match.
Well, look what Miz is known for, mixed tag matches at Mania.
I get that, but
he did it with Cena.
But who remembers that? It was my favorite WrestleMania moment was that mixed tag with Miz and Cena, and don't even remember the females involved. I think Maurice was in his corner. Who did Cena team with?
It was one of the Bellas.
Okay. Oh, probably Nikki, I would imagine.
It'd be Nikki.
Yep. Okay. Who remembers that?
A lot of people do who love the Bellas.
Okay. Who watching wrestling right now remembers that?
I mean, again, I watched it that night, so I was like, I remember that.
Right, but that doesn't.
It's a vivid memory.
It's not exactly a Sting and Flair match.
I'm not saying that either.
Just because I know how much you love Sting.
You're right. It's just like it's Johnny Gargano's last night.
Oh, thank God! Are they firing him?
No, he signed a contract extension just till tonight.
Okay, good. He can stay there.
No, it's just so he can do the match tonight for War Games.
Oh, but he might be leaving WWE.
Tonight's his last night.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd be bailing too. The only unfortunate part is he's probably Johnny One Face is going to end up in AEW probably.
And I think it's Kyle O'Reilly's last night, too.
Yeah, I'd heard his contract was expiring in December. So now there are rumors that he might be going to New Japan for just a little while. But I don't. I think AEW is kind of teeing it up for him to come in. Which this could be interesting though, because you could end up with Adam Cole being in the middle of a feud between the Young Bucks and O'Reilly and Fish, Red Dragon reunion.
Exactly.
Which could, I mean, gosh, you can book that for television for a few months.
And I know you don't know this. I know you don't follow WWE. But there's a good chance that this is the last night of the NXT Cruiserweight Championship.
Oh, good. Thank God. Get rid of that fucking thing. We got a comment. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. DV or Devi or Devi, not sure. Just said Mojo Rawley. Are you speculating that Mojo will be making his way to AEW or? Don't know. I think if anywhere, he's going to end up in Impact. Maybe Ring of Honor.
Well, that'd have to be after the reconstruction.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, okay. So he wouldn't be contracted to Ring of Honor, but he might do sporadic appearances, which I think is what they're going to do. We talked about that already in a previous podcast. I think they're just going to kind of be more of a, how do I word this right? They're going to put on shows and have independent stars on said shows.
Right.
But if they're smart, they're going to get in cozy with AEW and or New Japan.
Right. And I'm sure he'd want to know what our answers on this.
I think if Mojo goes anywhere, it's going to be Impact.
I can agree with that.
I can't see AEW showing, because like, no disrespect to Mojo Rawley, but the way WWE booked him, it's like nobody cares.
Right.
And it's not the fault of Mojo, because like Lord knows what his ideas were. But I remember when he was in WWE, he'd pop in every once in a while and be like, oh yeah, he's still there.
I mean, he was the guest host of WrestleMania with Grunk.
Okay.
Football player for Buccaneers and the Patriots.
Okay. What was he on the pre-show?
No, the whole show.
Oh.
He was the host of WrestleMania. It was the WrestleMania that Drew McIntyre won the WWE title from Brock Lesnar.
Okay. Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've not been, although I am making a conscious effort, I'm getting hardcore back into New Japan starting today. Because I missed it. I don't even know if it's still there, but I found All In on YouTube, which is definitely not there legally, but it was the whole show. And rewatched it, and God damn, still such a good show.
It is, yeah.
But it did kind of make me miss that 2016 Bullet Club era.
Well, yeah. The Bullet Club now is not the same Bullet Club.
No, it's not. I mean, don't get me wrong, still love my Bullet Club, but it's not. It hit its apex between the years of 2014 and 2016.
And it's weird how the Good Brothers is fighting the Bullet Club now.
Yeah, and when they were they were both. One was a founding member, and the other one was an earlier on member.
Yeah, Anderson was the founding member.
Yeah, Anderson was one of the original four. I'm just waiting for Finn Balor to get released. Send him back to Japan. Send him, Shinsuke, and AJ probably wouldn't go back to Japan. He'd end up in actually they'd all three end up in AEW.
AJ's staying where he's staying.
Yeah, I know. He said on multiple occasions that he'll be retiring there, but you never know. They might release him because WWE's become really good at taking a sure thing and being like, what the fuck do we do with this? Which leads me into the main topic. Perfect segue. Rumors abound that WWE is gearing up to be sold.
Yeah.
And it seems not only plausible to me, it seems likely because they're doing things that don't make sense from a professional wrestling standpoint, but they make perfect sense from a content creator standpoint. They're unloading their books while they're maximizing profits. So they're getting rid of big contracts and sometimes hiring people back on lower contracts or just outright releasing them. They're lowering their expenses while they're getting record profits because it seems to me WWE has done the thing that Vince McMahon has always wanted in that WWE, the brand, is now bigger than any single performer. He's no longer beholden to a Hulk Hogan or a Stone Cold or a John Cena. It's now WWE and the performers are secondary.
Right.
And part of that is marketing to children. Because let's be real, most kids you can just turn on WWE and they don't care who's wrestling, they don't care what's going on, they just see wrestling and they're engaged for the most part.
I don't know. How can I say this? I'm still the old school way of where, yes, wrestling's wrestling, but you got to have your stars to commit me to an actual wrestling show.
Well, I agree with that. And prime example of this is the polar opposite being AEW, who is arguably all about the stars. And the stars are making the brand. Because AEW on its own means nothing. It was because the Bucks and Kenny and Cody were attached. And then they got Jericho attached from the beginning. And now they've got CM Punk, who is attached. I don't think anyone in AEW would dispute that when Punk debuted, it was all about Punk. And they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, this is in an AEW ring. So you probably want to keep watching AEW because you'll get to see the star, CM Punk. As opposed to WWE, who's like, well, you know, we got this really well-known star from the indies. You know, how can we dilute them down so that they fall in line with the WWE banner? Which they've done multiple times. They did it with Shinsuke. They did it with AJ to an extent. Although they let AJ shine a lot more than most of their acquisitions. But for the most part, like, and they've all but killed NXT because now they're emphasizing more and more just nobodies and then being like, hey, look at this person.
Yeah, from what I heard, was told, he believes that NXT Japan is pretty much dead now.
I didn't even know it was still around.
Exactly my point. And like, and this goes back to when we had has an F5 on here. Like they just yeah, they want it all about the brand and not the stars. You can't have a company on a brand without stars.
Case in point being the not the founding of WWF, but the beginning of the Vince McMahon Jr. era, where he poached almost all the stars from the various territories.
Right.
It wasn't about the company; it was about the stars. It was about the Hulk Hogans and the Macho Mans and the Roddy Pipers.
And this is what we were talking about, you know, with over in Europe and everything. They poached the stars from the English companies, and now like there's not really many stars from English companies.
Well, yeah, but then imagine, you know, eventually contracts come up, and I think there's more than a few performers that would rather, you know, they might make a little bit less money, but at least they'd get to be performing as opposed to doing nothing and just being on the payroll.
Yeah.
Well, and because now you have AEW as an option. And AEW, I'm sure, because they've done it with other people, is like, oh, yeah, you want to wrestle for Rev Pro? Sure.
Yeah.
Just be here on these Wednesdays or these Fridays.
I think it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then the 4 Sundays a month. 4 Sundays a year.
Yeah.
Because in their Mondays is dark, right?
Well, no, how they usually do it is on Dynamite nights they record Elevation before and after, and usually on if it's a Rampage only show, they record Dark then. Now sometimes they have to change it up for scheduling, or if they tape Rampage along with Dynamite. But typically that's how they do it.
All right, but what I'm trying to figure out is what night is it they actually go film Dark down at Universal Studios?
Oh, I'm sure those are just kind of random dates where they record a few shows in one day, and so that they have them kind of in the can, or they have them booked to be at a certain time. Because one of the really cool things about Dark and Elevation is that they're part of what's going on with the live television shows. Even though they're recorded, they book them in such a way that they matter.
Right.
So there is a degree of planning with Dark and whatnot. Now, I'm sure there have been a couple throwaways, which who cares in the scheme of things, but...
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, because when they do, I know you're not a fan of it, I don't think you are, but the way they do it at Universal Studios, it reminds me of, because they consider AEW as WCW. I will agree with that. They are. But when they do Dark... It reminds me when they did WCW Worldwide or WCW Pro, their little 1 hour shows on Saturday mornings or Sunday mornings, whatnot. And so it's like that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah. I just wasn't a fan of of any of the Dark episodes they did at Universal Studios. I just didn't like the feel of it. But that's just a personal preference. And Dark is low on my list anyway, because usually nothing major happens. But I don't know.
Give it time.
I know. There have been some excellent episodes of Dark.
No, there could be a world title change on Dark. You just don't know it.
Yeah, I doubt it. I somehow doubt that, but yeah, rumors abound. Your prevailing opinion is that WWE is going to eventually be bought by Disney.
Well, okay. My thing is, and I say this to a lot of people, Disney will own the world.
Well, I guess I agree with you now, because I was thinking about this because Disney purchased Fox. Well, so when does the SmackDown TV deal officially expire? I think they signed a 5-year deal back in, was it 2018 or 2019?
That I don't remember.
I don't remember, but it was a few years ago, and I believe it was a 5-year deal for $5 billion. I can't remember. But what
so
I
if it
what
so
I
if it was
oh, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, if it was one of those 2 years, then it would be next year, the year after, that it'll be over on Fox.
Right.
Okay. So, and yeah, there was talks, but there's also talks of NBC also buying WWE because of Saturday Night's Main Event and everything else.
It was 2018, and holy shit, $205 million per year. So I was a little off, but
but what I was saying is like, I'm just leading into the thing of the whole Disney's going to own the world. You would agree with that? Disney will run everything in this world.
They're going to try. That's for sure.
The way they're going right now, they will be. I mean, they own Fox. They own Marvel. They own everything. They own a lot of stuff.
Just want to take a second to give a shout out to our couple of Twitch viewers that are watching right now. How's it going? Thanks for checking out the show. Twitch is relatively new. Hope you enjoy it. Feel free to use the chat, by the way, if you have any comments, questions, or hatred you would like to throw our way.
But
we'll take it all.
But yeah, I think if NBC doesn't buy them, the WWE will buy them. That Disney will buy them. But it's going to be a little weird because it's going to be like, Disney's going to own their own first wrestling company. But in the same sense, they can do whatever they want because, everybody has. We'll segue into movies for a second. Go off wrestling. Everybody is freaked out about what are they going to do with Deadpool. Okay. And because Deadpool's R-rated and he cusses and everything else. Well, they are making a new Deadpool movie for the MCU universe with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the same Deadpool like the first two movies, cuss, R-rated, and all that stuff.
Well, there's this really weird idea that Disney as a company doesn't ever do anything risque, and that's just not true because Disney, like I said, Disney owns a lot of intellectual property, so it's not going to have the Disney logo on it per se, but like Disney's done plenty of adult themed content.
Well, but that's the thing though, is this will be in the MCU
Well, right,
universe.
you're saying
See,
that the MCU hasn't been adult content.
well, not as like what Deadpool is.
I'd say it's almost in the same vein, maybe a few less fucks here and there, but
Well, right, but he's gonna be more fucks than anything.
good.
That's what I'm saying. It's like because like I said, and they own Fox and everything, and Fox owns one of the bigger horror franchise movies, and that's Predator.
There you
And
go.
they're making another Predator movie, but it's called Prey. But what I'm saying is like they changed the name a little bit, but it's still the same movie.
Well, right. That's what, and I'm having a major brain fart because one of the side effects of me doing podcasts is I always forget shit when I need to be remembering it. But I remember thinking I learned about a certain property that was in fact owned by Disney, and I remember it surprising me. So it's like, oh, that's a little risque.
And that's why you got me here.
Exactly. The walking dictionary, at least with the wrestling content.
Well, I know a lot of things to a certain degree, but getting back to the days of, I will agree with you on this because I'm sticking with Disney and movies for a second. Getting back to the early days of back in the 70s, they were sort of making horror movies, but then again they weren't making animation.
Right, yeah, back because they lost all their animators and didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Well, Disney died.
Well, yeah, in the 70s? No, he died. When did shit?
He died in the late 60s.
Yeah.
He died when they were going to the moon.
Right, 1966. Yep.
I think it was 69 he died.
I just looked it up. It was 66.
Okay.
So that's why I was so sure about it.
Okay. Well, when he died in 66, the last animated Disney movie they made was I know this too. This is one with the mouses.
Mickey?
No. That's I think Cinderella. I could be wrong. The mouses helped. Yeah, I think it was Cinderella. I could be wrong. People in the chat were like, "Oh no, it was this movie." Thank you for letting us. Thank you for helping us. And then their first animated movie since when Disney died was Little Mermaid. That was in 1989. But in between, they were making live action movies, and there were some like horror movies.
Well, they were making some animated movies, but they weren't up to the.
No, they stopped.
No, there were animated Disney movies that were made in the 70s for sure. They were just lower in quality than.
But anyways, well, that's what I was getting at. Is like Disney can do anything.
Oh yeah, and they've proven that.
That's
they can't make a good Star Wars movie. Huh? Nobody? Really? I was supposed to get some cheers.
I thought every single one were good so far.
Of the new trilogy?
I didn't think they're that bad.
Have you seen Star Wars?
I guess I have.
You watched The Last Jedi and didn't get absolutely pissed?
No.
Oh man.
I mean, hold on, let me finish. I did. We're not going to spoilers here. I did get pissed off at the beginning of the movie when I thought a certain thing happened, but then when I found out it didn't happen, I was happy. I was excited.
Well, don't worry about spoilers. If you haven't seen those movies yet, you're not going to. What are you talking about?
It was better than the second one. Don't get me wrong on that one.
That's the one I'm talking about, The Last Jedi. I think you're talking about The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, Jedi was the second one.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, Jedi sucked.
Thank you. Hey, I thought we were gonna get into a legitimate argument here.
No. I was talking about Rise of Skywalker. I was talking about the last. I thought you were talking about the last one. No, Skywalker
No.
Skywalker was good, very good. Better than Jedi.
Well, yeah, but a steaming pile of dog shit to the face is better than The Last Jedi.
Okay, Jedi is episode 1 of that trilogy. Okay.
2. The Force Awakens was episode 1 of the new trilogy.
I'm getting at with Jar Jar Binks.
That's the prequels.
Jedi is like Jar Jar Binks to this new trilogy.
I mean, that's an insult. That's an insult to Jar Jar Binks.
Because Jar Jar sucks.
Jar Jar does suck, but I would rather watch Jar Jar Binks than get a steaming pile of dog shit to the face.
At the rate we're going to end the wrestling podcast and start a nerd podcast right now.
We fucking should. Anyway, yeah, let's get back to WWE. So, I mean, I'm hedging my bets on Disney, but there are other rumors, like you said, NBC is vying for it, as well as a company called Liberty Media, which is a mostly sports media company, but I mean, they're pretty large.
I've not heard of them, so.
Well, you the parent company, you've probably heard of some of their properties, though. Let's see here. So they have ownership stakes in Formula One racing, Sirius XM satellite radio, the Atlanta Braves.
Okay.
And then some other smaller. But I mean, so like they've got money. But this was actually coming from Brian Last. They also own the Drone Racing League. So yeah, they also they used to own True TV. And they used to own 75% of Stars Media. So I mean, they've had some stuff.
Okay.
I'm still thinking Disney's going to be it, though.
Disney and
you might have well, think about this for a second, though. So like if Disney owns WWE, you might have a giant dude walking around in a fake ass Undertaker costume at Disney World. Think about Undertaker being at the gates of the Haunted Mansion for just a second. And plus, Disney World's in Florida.
Hey, you got WWE theme parked.
Not a whole park, but interspersed. And don't think for a second they won't start filming at Walt Disney World, because they'll do it. And then all the WWE, they'll turn it into Universal Studios. They'll turn WWE into TNA.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Yeah, I agree.
While comical, I do believe, honestly, I don't think Disney would know what to do with a wrestling company, because they didn't know what to do with Star Wars. And the only reason the only reason they got away with Marvel is because the universe had somewhat already been established by the time they purchased it, and because they let the people in charge stay in charge.
I agree with that.
That's the only reason that Disney didn't shit the bed with the MCU.
I agree with that.
Because if Disney had been in charge of it, every time the Iron Man suit would have come on, it would have been like, where do you want to go, boss? Instead of Jarvis.
I would agree with that. I would.
You see Iron Man take it off. Oh, boy!
Now, as everybody knows, we love our wrestling.
Most wrestling. We love most wrestling.
We love our results.
We do. And there were 2 hard-hitting, intense, major events last night that we did not watch because we couldn't. But
well, I don't know what he was doing, but I myself was having what you call an awards ceremony for XCW Wrestling. Check it out when it comes out. Beer Shorts Awards.
It'll be on YouTube. The link should be down below to that channel.
Yes, it will. Plus, you also have to check out Class on Christmas when it comes out on Christmas Day. And you'll have to check out New Year's Nemesis when it comes out on New Year's Day.
Check them out. So do you want to start with Triple Mania or Hard Times #2?
Let's go with Triple Mania.
Triple Mania.
That's what I want to talk about at the end of NWA, is a big thing.
Alrighty. So Triple Mania, the first match was Team Leyenda Americana, which consisted of Leyenda Americana, El Aracno y La Estrella Cósmica against Team Terror Purpura, which consisted of Terror Purpura, Venenoide, and La Picadora Letal. I don't know who any of those people are. Sorry.
When it comes to some of these things, we're going to talk about certain results.
Lo siento, mi gente de Mexico.
What he said.
Oh, so anyway, the Team Leyenda Americana defeated Team Terror Purpura. So yeah.
Okay.
Match #2 saw. Oh, this was a 12-man match consisting of Mr. Iguana, Mr. C's Jr., Carta Brava Jr., Aramis, Tito Santana. Oh, you might recognize him from Lucha Underground, along with Drago, Nino Hamburguesa, which is literally Hamburger Boy, Mocho Cota Jr., Pimpinella, Escarlata, Villano III, or Villano III Jr., Mamba, and Argenis, who you would also recognize from Lucha Underground. And
so Villano.
Do what?
No, go ahead.
Saw Mr. Iguana defeated those 12 men.
So Villano 3 has a son who's still keeping the Villano tradition going. Sweet. I like the Villanos.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember the Villanos.
Where would I have seen the Villanos?
WCW.
Oh, that's why I don't know them.
They wore the exact same gear, with the exact same black and red and gold or silver mask, and had V's on them. And there's like 5 of them.
Ah.
Well, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Well, the third one lost in this match, so.
Well, you said Junior.
Yeah. Well, he's Villano the Third Jr. That's his whole name.
Well, right.
Does that make him the 6th one? I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Is like Villano 3 would have had a kid that wrestled, so it'd be like Villano 3 Jr.
Alrighty. Third match was a champion versus champion match for the AAA Reina de Reinas in the Impact Knockouts Championship. So this was a winner-take-all match, if I'm reading this correctly. We had Diana Purrazzo from Impact against Fabi Apache. And it looks like Diana Purrazzo was the victor, so she is now both the Impact Knockouts champion and the AAA Reina de Reinas, which is Queen of Queens, for those of you who don't know, champion.
There's a problem with that.
Why is that? Where's the problem with that?
Because she's not the Impact Knockouts champion.
Well, according to this, she is.
Well, wait till you get the Hard Times too.
Aha. Well, were these on the same night?
Yeah.
Well, one was taped, folks. We are getting into WCW territory. Somebody won a championship they didn't even have. Oh shit!
Or somebody defended the title they didn't.
Yeah, somebody defended a championship they didn't even have, or at least they didn't have it yet.
No,
But
they were both live last night.
Okay. Next match, we had a three-way for the AAA Tag Team Championships consisting of Los Lucha Brothers, Phoenix and Pentagon Jr., because I guess he's Pentagon Jr. and AAA still. Wait, what? Wait a fucking minute. This was in August. This was in August, dude.
It could have been.
Yeah, it was. August 14th, 2021.
And who'd they lose to?
They didn't lose. They won.
Okay.
You were watching the wrong pay-per-view, dude.
No, you think you looked up the wrong results, though, dude.
No, this is from Triple Mania 2021, August 14th. Hang on. I think you're not talking about Triple Mania.
Yes, it was Triple Mania.
Triple
Mania Regina.
Ah, okay, but that's not okay. Sorry about that, folks.
It was because
this isn't Triple Mania, the big show. This is a different show. Okay, so we're gonna forget everything you just heard.
That's why I thought that was weird.
Okay, so we'll okay. This makes sense. Okay, we'll start at the beginning of these results. Sorry about that. So anyway, the first match still had Leyenda Americana and Gran Mazo against Venenoide and Engañoso in a tag team match with Leyenda Americana and Gran Mazo coming out on top.
Okay.
And these are the correct results from last night.
December 4th, 2001?
2001? You mean 2021?
Sorry.
That was 20 years ago, brother. All right, so the next match was a Lumberjacks with Straps match. And it was also a females match, women's match, featuring Las Tóxicas, which is Lady Maravilla, La Hiedra, which I'm guessing is Spanish for Hydra, and Flamer, against Fabi Apache, Lady Shani, and Sexy Star 2. Now, is this is a different Sexy Star, yes?
It has to be.
It has to be because the original Sexy Star was blackballed.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I'm looking up Sexy Star 2. Yes, this is a different Sexy Star.
Okay.
Same mask, but a different.
I would not want to be called Sexy Star. I would not want to be called that.
Well, I mean, it is in Mexico, so it's. Anyway, this saw Las Tóxicas getting the victory.
Okay.
But would you care to enlighten those who may not know why?
I'll let you do it. That's your realm.
Oh,
well,
kind of. I try to watch AAA, but it's inconsistent at best. The original Sexy Star was actually in a match with Impact's Rosemary, and from what everyone could tell, intentionally, I can't remember if she broke her arm or her clavicle. I think it was her arm.
Either way, she broke.
She intentionally injured Rosemary in a match. So she was understandably blackballed from many organizations. I believe AAA and Impact being only two of them. But anyway, I digress. The next match was a three-way trios match to determine the number one contenders for the AAA World Trios Championship, consisting of Nueva Generación Dinamita, which is made up of El Cuatrero, Sansón, and Forastero, against Los Vipers, which is Abismo Negro Jr., Ares, and Psicosis, who was apparently...
Psicosis.
Psicosis 2. Yep.
Because he goes by El Nico El Emiliano.
Sure. And
No,
El Poder del Norte, which consists of Tito Santana, which you would remember from Lucha Underground, Carta Brava Jr., and Mocho Cota Jr. And this saw Nueva Generación Dinamita become number one contenders for the AAA Trios Championships.
just for you continue. The reason why he's reading these results is because I know he's going to get mad when he gets to certain parts of these results. That's the reason why he's reading these results.
Oh, so you're ribbing me.
I know what happened. That's why I'm having you read it.
Okay. The next match was another trios match, but just for shits and giggles. Saw La Impresa consisting of Puma King, which is not Prince Puma, because he's wrestling in WWE now, and Sam Adonis and DMT Azul with Estrellita, who I'm guessing is a manager, defeated Dave the Clown, Murder Clown, and Chessman.
Hey,
gotta. I'm not laughing at Chessman. I'm laughing at Dave the Clown.
I was say, you leave Chessman alone.
Oh god, Dave the Clown. That's fucking awesome. Okay. Next match was a tag team match, which saw La Facción Ingobernable, not to be confused with Los Ingobernables de Japón, or Los Ingobernables, for that matter, which was Dragon Lee and Dralistico against Laredo Kid and Willie Mack of NWA fame and former Lucha Underground fame, which just take a second to appreciate the talents of all these men, but specifically Dragon Lee and Laredo Kid. Not to take anything away from Willie Mack and Dralistico, but Laredo Kid and Dragon Lee are phenomenal, except that time that Dragon Lee almost killed Takahashi. Yeah. But anyway, La Facción Ingobernable won that match. Oh god. So, oh shit. This is where he's gonna laugh. Next we had a ladder match. Well, I know who won this because I watched Dynamite. Or no, this would have been. Never mind. We had a ladder match for the AAA World Tag Team Championships with FTR, along with Vicky Guerrero for some reason, against Los Lucha Brawlers, Pentagon Jr. y Rey Phoenix. And FTR won. I don't have a problem with that.
No, I was just stating. They're all wearing. What's funny though is I saw the picture, and they reminded me of Eddie Guerrero and Art Escobar.
Oh yeah.
Because they were dressed up in the Mexican, American, USA, and Mexican flags and stuff, all of their gear.
This was FTR, or the Lucha.
FTR.
I think FTR. Honestly, I like the fact that FTR is in AAA. Because maybe we can actually get some coherent matches every once in a while.
Now, when you get to the main event, you'll see who's all in it, and you'll be happy. I'm happy who won. I haven't seen his stuff, but I'm happy who won.
Alrighty. So the next match was a trios match with Psycho Clown, Pagano, and Cain Velasquez. Really?
Yep. Against
LA Park and Los Mercenarios, which is Rey Escorpión y Toros. Toros? However you pronounce that in Spanish. This saw Psycho Clown, Pagano, and Cain Velasquez get the victory. So Cain Velasquez is wrestling in AAA now? Or was this just a one-off? He's been there?
No, he's been doing it.
Good for him.
He actually wrestles under a mask.
Don't know how smart that is, but okay.
It's like a bull type mask.
Still don't know how smart that is, but whatever. Anyway.
He can actually...
Oh, I know he can. I'm talking about him wrestling under a mask because it's Cain Velasquez. You kind of want to show his face. Anyway, the main event was a 5-way match for the vacant. Did Kenny Omega vacate it?
He had to.
Yeah, because, okay. Was a 5-way match for the vacant AAA Mega Championship. And in this match, we had Bandito, who I'm a fan of, Bobby Fish, who I'm a fan of, Jay Lethal, who I'm a fan of, Samurai del Sol, who I've never seen, and El Hijo del Vikingo, who I've also seen and I'm a fan of.
You know who Samurai del Sol is?
Who? Oh, is that... yeah, it's Kalisto. Okay. I recognize that name. Would you like to tell everyone who won?
Even though I've not seen this guy work, and I wish they could have done the actual match themselves between these two guys, the right guy went over. And that was Vikingo.
Son of Viking, actually. His dad left him to go raiding.
Like I said, I've not seen this guy work.
He's quite good.
But I trust Kenny's instincts on wanting to face him for the belt and couldn't do it. But he deserved to still get his shot at the belt and win.
He did some stuff in Impact that I saw. I was a fan.
Okay.
All right. So now we move on to NWA Hard Times #2. Was this the shits or was it not the shits?
I'll tell you what I didn't watch it, but I'll tell you what happened at the end of the show.
Alrighty. Well, we'll get into it. The first match, we had a 4-way tag team match for the NWA World Women's Tag Team Championship. The teams of the Hex, consisting of Allison Kay and Marty Bell, these names are a lot easier, who are the champions, current champions, against Kylie Ray and Tootie Lynn, against Miss Kate and Natalia Markova, versus Genocide, that's Genocide, like Jenna, the name Jenna inside, not to be confused with his former wrestling name there.
Yeah, this guy.
And Paula Blaze. And the Hex retained.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we had a singles match between Mims and Jax Dane. And this is all in the pre-show, by the way. Mims won.
Who was with Crimson.
Yeah, who was with Crimson. In the last pre-show match, we had the NWA World Junior World Junior Heavyweight Championship, qualifying match, which featured Homicide, Alex Taylor, Aria Davari, C.W. Anderson. Wow, I didn't know he was still wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Stanley, Jeremiah Plunkett, Kerry Morgan, Luke Hawks, PJ Hawks, Ricky Morton, Sal Renaro, and Victor Benjamin, with Homicide winning this particular qualifying match.
Yep.
And next, wow, this is kind of I don't think this is the order of the matches.
No, they were.
Oh, that's weird. That's weird ass place. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. NWA World Junior Heavyweight Championship qualifying match. So we had 2 qualifying matches, but this was a singles match.
This was in the actual show.
Yeah, this is the actual show. So we had Rhett Titus up against Austin Aries, with Austin Aries qualifying for the championship match. So I'm guessing this person will face the winner of the gauntlet match.
Well, this doesn't happen in this show, though.
Right. But at a later date, they will face each other to become #1 contender.
Or fight each other for the belt.
Oh, is the belt vacant right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's been vacant for a long time. Since like the 80s.
Oh, okay. So they're bringing it back.
Yes.
Nice. This is interesting. Next, we have a tag team match for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships, featuring the OGK, which is Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, for those who don't know, versus Aaron Stevens and J.R. Kratos, or does he pronounce it Kratos?
I think it's Kratos.
I think he pronounces it Kratos. Matt Taven and Mike Bennett retain their championships. Cool.
And I see them staying while they're. I see this. I like because this gives OGK something to go with when it comes with tag teams.
Yeah.
And OGK is a good tag team, and I can see them winning the NWA World Tag Titles.
So, correct me if I'm wrong here, because you're more into watching NWA than I am. Have they been palling around with Ring of Honor for a while? Or is this new?
No, they've done it off and on.
Off and on. Well, because I remember our Ring of Honor episode, I had speculated that maybe they want to be cozying up to somebody like the NWA.
Right.
So
and well, with what's going on with Ring of Honor, because they're about to have their last pay-per-view with Final Battle and everything. A lot of guys going out to stuff like this, and like the Briscoes hanging around with AEW and OGK with NWA. It's like this is what they need to do.
Yeah.
So they know they can keep working.
Right, exactly. Next, we have a singles match with Colby Corino against Doug Williams. And Corino won.
Okay. Colby Corino, the son of Steve Corino.
I figured.
Yeah. And Doug Williams, who is one badass English wrestler who was in the British Invasion with Nick Aldis. Or as we all knew him, and Magnus.
Yeah, back in the TNA days.
Yep. Okay,
next we have a singles match for the Impact Knockouts Championship. And you're right. Purrazzo did not have the belt.
This is where I was confused. I'm like, wait a minute. Wrong pay-per-view.
Yeah, when we had two matches like that, it's like, wait a minute. Anyway. The champion Mickie James defended her title against Kiera Hogan. And she pinned Kiera Hogan to retain her Knockouts Championship.
Right.
Next, we have a no disqualification match for the NWA World Television Champion with the Pope, formerly known as D'Angelo De Niro, and formerly known before that as Elijah Burke of ECW fame, WWE ECW fame, as a special guest referee with no time limit. We had the champion Tyrus defending his title against Austin Idol.
No, he was
sorry. He was with Austin Idol. Sorry. I read that wrong. Against Scion.
Okay. We all know who Tyrus is.
Yes.
Yeah. Scion don't know, but he's an up-and-comer.
He don't even have a Wikipedia page that I can go to.
I know.
Anyway, Tyrus won. And this is interesting. Oh, geez. I'm starting to think NWA has too many belts. Next, we had a singles match for the NWA National Championship.
That's their number one contender belt.
Oh, so whoever has that. So it's kind of like the Gift of the Gods Championship?
Well, who's the champion? It's Chris Adonis, right?
Yes.
Yes, and it's their... Right, it's their TNT title.
Well, they have the NWA World Television Championship, though.
Okay. Well, to them, that's their U.S.
okay.
title.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Chris Adonis defended his belt against Judas and won. So Chris Adonis is still the NWA National Champion.
And for people who don't know who Judas is, he used to be part of a tag team with, what was his name? Gunner. And TNA was Gunner and Murphy. They're part of Immortal.
And what's really interesting is his given name is Michael Cole.
Right.
which is hilarious. He should really go by that. Next, we have a tag team match for the NWA World Tag Team Championship, consisting of the champions La Rebellion, which is Bestia 666,
Yes.
and Mecha Wolf 450. Or 450. Defending against The End, Odin's Son, and Paro. Anyway, La Rebellion won and retained their NWA World Tag Team Championship. Next, we have a grudge match against Nick Aldis against Tom Latimer. Nick Aldis, unsurprisingly, won.
What's funny is, I don't know if I can bring this up right now.
Go for it.
Tom Latimer, I forget who he is. He is somebody in Bram. Yeah. Bram was the guy who was with Charlotte Flair back in the day. And I want to say this right now. I'm not making fun of people who can't keep relationships. But Charlotte Flair is known for not keeping
Hey. She's been with Andrade for a minute.
No, they're not now.
What?
They broke up.
God damn it. Now we can't get Ric Flair in AEW. Charlotte, God damn it.
She broke it off.
God damn it, Charlotte. We wanted one fucking thing. Fuck. Great, now it's just Andrade.
And now this is why everybody has heat with Charlotte Flair.
You know, I did watch a really interesting, not to get off topic, but I did watch a really interesting interview that Becky Lynch gave. Go ahead.
As it says, the one with Sam Roberts?
No, I don't think it was Sam Roberts. I think it was probably similar. But you know how sometimes wrestlers will be kind of in character for interviews? I did not get the sense. I think there's some actual, like, I think there's something there. Well, congratulations, Charlotte. Now if you get fired, you're not going to have a job because Andrade don't want your shit no more. We'll see Ashley Flair in Impact.
I think it makes sense, the whole thing, because everybody started noticing that Andrade wasn't following her on social media anymore.
Well, fuck, I wouldn't either. You know what would be awesome, though, is if Andrade and Rick had, like, just really hit it off and remained friends, and then he still came to AEW to manage Andrade. I doubt it. That sucks.
Yeah.
I blame Charlotte. Fuck. Really? You couldn't have stuck it out for a little bit longer? He couldn't have been that bad. He's no Alberto Del Rio.
Okay, well, she's with Tom Latimer, Bram, and they broke it off.
Well, yeah, but Ric Flair wasn't going to be managing Bram.
Okay.
I wanted my Ric Flair in AEW. Damn it. Anyway.
Back to NWA.
Now I'm just that just ruined my day. Fucking Charlotte. Anyway. Next, we had a singles match for the NWA World Women's Championship, which Charlotte will never win because you keep pissing wrestling fans off. Anyway, I think it's pronounced Camille, but it might be Camilla.
No, it's Camille.
Camille. Okay, I thought so. Oh,
Who was with Tom Latimer?
Oh, did they break it off too?
No, they're together in real life.
Like now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, good for her.
They fit each other. They're both crazy.
Well, good for you, Bram. Anyway, Camille is defending her title against the one and only Melina. Is she still doing the same ring entrance?
No. As far as I know, she's not.
I figured as much. I'm actually happy that Melina's still. I was always a fan of Melina.
They did the whole she's the veteran and everything. She's got that one last shot in her.
Oh, well, she lost.
But yeah, like, but that's the angle they were going with. Like, does she actually have it in her to actually go for one last run as women's champion or not?
Apparently not. At least not that night.
Right.
And just like Charlotte, she lost. Anyway.
In your main event.
In the main event, oh God, I wouldn't have watched this if you paid me. We had a singles match for the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship. Trevor Murdoch defended his belt against the one, the only, the often forgotten Mike Knox. Wow, I didn't even know he was still. I thought he died. No, that was Test.
Wow,
that wasn't no. That wasn't an insult. I literally just I thought Mike Knox was dead, but I was thinking of Test.
Wow, damn.
That wasn't me being shitty. That wasn't a joke. Oh, God, the one time I'm not making a joke, I'll get in trouble. Anyway,
Lord, everybody who does listen to this and watches this, I apologize on behalf.
I am sorry. I didn't mean anything bad by it. I just legitimately thought Mike Knox was dead.
No, he beat the crap out of his son leading up to this match.
Wait, run
Trevor Murdoch's. Trevor Murdoch's.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, did Mike Knox beat the fuck out of his kid?
No,
because in that case, I don't take it back.
No, it was Trevor Murdoch's kid.
Oh. Wait, speaking of, I kind of don't want to ask this because but didn't Lance Cade pass away as well?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think he did too. I remember being like, really? That guy? He wasn't particularly old.
I said, I think. I don't.
I'm going to look that up because I don't want to be responsible for a bunch of people. Like, of course, I type in Lance and Lance Bax comes up. You fucking. Anyway. Yes, he did. He passed away in 2010.
Okay. Damn. 16 years ago. Damn.
Yeah. I'm trying to see what. So it looks like he had accidentally died from mixed drug intoxication complicating a cardiomyopathy. So I guess because I was reading this and it sounded eerily similar to Brody Lee because it says here his ex-wife had noticed that he wasn't looking well in the week prior up to his death. And I'm like, wouldn't that be weird? And, oh, shit. Hang on. His ex-wife, Tanya, had noticed that he was not looking well in the week prior to his death. He was taken to the hospital on August 10th, 2010 with difficulty breathing. Interesting. That's weird.
You think as soon as they got them there, they'd be able to open up his trachea so he could actually breathe.
Yeah. Anyway, Trevor Murdoch won.
But with what happened afterwards was the big shocker.
What was the big shocker?
Matt Cardona showed up and attacked Trevor Murdoch and held up the NWA World's title to show he was here to win the belt. The man's got a shot at 2 companies' world titles right now.
Is either one of them WWE or AEW?
No.
Then who cares? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I have a lot of respect for the NWA World's Championship, particularly almost due entirely in part to Nick Aldis.
Well, he's now going for the NWA World's title, and he's got a shot next month for the TNA World title.
Wow.
In a triple threat match.
Against?
Moose, obviously.
Yeah.
And V. Morrissey.
Wait, did you say Impact or TNA?
Well, whatever.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that they didn't split the belts apart again.
No, they got rid of that big belt.
Okay, good.
they got rid of that when Christian won the belt.
Yeah, I think they kind of only did that so that they could give Kenny 4 belts.
Whatever.
Whatever. That's kind of the reaction to most things Impact. Yeah, whatever.
No, I'm talking about Kenny Omega.
No, whatever.
But when Kenny left to go have surgery, he gave up the AAA title so they could do that.
Which is good. I'm glad that Kenny will be getting, because you could, I don't know that you could tell per se, but it wouldn't surprise me that he had a lot of nagging injuries that needed to get taken care of, because he's been going pretty well nonstop for years.
Right.
Makes sense.
And I see him coming back around June or July.
As a babyface or a heel?
I say it'd be him and Adam Cole at All Out.
Ooh, that would be good. That'll be good.
That's what's going to set up for us.
And whoever wins gets custody of the Young Bucks.
It'd be a ladder match.
Whoever wins the ladder match. There's a clipboard with adoption papers up there for the Hardley boys.
And you got Adam Cole Page. Sorry, God dang it. Now I'm thinking of Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, maybe.
He's up there hanging on. He's like, instead of you going for Vicky, he's showing the Don Callis like, Don! Don!
He trips at the Don Callis.
He falls down to the ground and everything.
Oh, shit.
Adam Cole had to take him down and everything, and he's yelling at the ref. He's yelling at Aubrey. What the fuck is Don Callis? He should have been here.
Oh God, that or I guess you could have Adam Cole versus Tony Schiavone for custody of Britt Baker.
Oh, stop! Leave him alone.
Oh, come on, you know Tony's eating that up. He loves. They're all having a good time with it.
Leave Tony alone. He's just trying to be the father figure. That's all he is.
I did like that little bit they added in commentary when Adam Cole was on commentary, where he kind of added, it's like, come on, Tony, you're not happy to see me. I know I'm not happy to see you. But these are those little things that AEW does so well, because like it started out as a joke and then now they're running with it. Like, we're obviously never going to see Adam Cole versus Tony Schiavone, but it adds something to the mix.
Right.
And I love those little things.
Right.
Like they've somehow managed to make Bryan Danielson a heel.
Which we knew.
Yeah, we kind of figured he was either going to do some kind of journeyman thing, but we figured he wouldn't be able to do that because of COVID. Right. Or he was going to somehow become a heel. And you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yep. I told you.
Oh, yeah, you were right. You were 100% right. I still would like to see journeyman Bryan Danielson, but they have time.
It only makes sense more for him to turn heel than Punk.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't... Like I said in that episode too, I think if anyone who had that amount of just being white hot babyface could turn it, it would be CM Punk. But why would you?
That's right.
But I don't know, Brian. I'm liking heel Bryan Danielson because I always like it when a heel has a point,
and he can actually say his point.
That's what I'm saying. Well, and that's what I'm saying, because when Bryan Danielson gets up there and being like, why do you have that belt? Everybody knows I'm better than you.
Right.
It's like, it is Bryan Danielson. I loved it when he talked about, what does he say? He did a quick promo for John Silver that he's going to face next week. And he's like, he's 30 years old and running around making jokes. When I was 30 years old, I was winning world championships. I'm like, And then he gave Hangman a nice little quip. It's like, the day after I won the world championship at WrestleMania, I wrestled the next day. I didn't have a party.
He's not wrong.
And I'm like, that's actually true.
Yeah. But I digress.
Is there anything else you wanted to chat about?
No. We can get set up for our last episode of the year in 2 weeks.
Yes, it is. We should do something special. I don't know what that something special is yet, but we'll do something special.
We'll figure that out.
We shall. I might see if we can get a guest on.
Oh,
you know what's up.
Oh,
maybe. I don't know. I don't know if he'll be able to, but we'll check and see. We'll check and see.
Because after that, our first episode. After that, would be the first episode of the year. Be in 2022.
Yep.
So either way.
Yep. Although, speaking of special guests, we do need to see. We don't have really a reason to bring the Master of Belts back on, but.
Well, you want to try to do that again?
Oh, I'd love to. I just don't know what we would talk about.
Well, talk about anything.
Well, I know, but he's the Master of Belts, so you kind of think that it should be belt related, but whatever. I mean, he's always welcome to come on if he wants to.
You're right. Or we could try to talk our buddy into going for the other buddy.
Oh, the guy who knows a guy who knows a guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. We can. No, we can't do that yet. We can't do that yet. I thought you were talking about another guy who knows another guy, but now I know the guy.
Now we can set him up for March, April.
Yeah, maybe, but I'll reach out to the one guy and see.
Okay. That one guy.
The other one guy.
Yes.
The second guy. Yeah. Anyway. Thank you once again for checking out the Down the Middle podcast. We hope you enjoyed it this week. As always, you can check us out on our various platforms, that being YouTube, Twitch, if you like the live stream, or if you want to go back and watch it later. We're always available on YouTube, as well as plenty of clips from past episodes. You can watch all the back catalog of episodes, should you want to. If you prefer your wrestling podcast to be in audio form, you can check us out at anchor.fm, where you can listen to us there, or you can check us out on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts. There's a couple more, but I can't remember them. So just check out the link below, and you can see all the available platforms. And you can also check out our official merchandise store, where you can get such awesome t-shirts, such as the Down Middle Podcast with our cartoon mugs on them, as well as Ben's catchphrase, "It's all a work" t-shirt, which is actually a really cool t-shirt, if I do say so myself.
I still got to get one.
Oh, don't worry. I got you covered on that.
Okay.
But we also have hoodies, which are fucking great. And you can also check out other Arate Media merchandise, as well as merchandise from the Average Intelligence podcast, all in the same store. It's all right there. It's so convenient.
It's winter, folks. Get yourself a hoodie.
Get yourself a hoodie.
You got to keep yourself warm while you're sitting there with a nice thing of hot cocoa and some cookies and some warm milk.
And you can tell all your friends about your 15th favorite wrestling podcast. Soon to be 13th.
13.
We're getting there. We'll eventually get there. Well, we know we're someone's favorite wrestling podcast because people keep watching somehow. So, and we thank you, our singular fan.
We thank all of y'all fans that keep us going.
Yeah, and actually, if we're being real about it, we have. Considering how long we've been doing this, we have a pretty impressive international audience. I believe we have some people in the UK that watch us. Have some folks in Ireland. There's a couple of people in Germany. I believe we now have a viewer or two in Brazil.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and Mexico.
Oh, all right.
They heard me. They heard my Spanish accent and were just like, "Ay, qué rico." Anyway, thank you again for watching. We will see you in 2 weeks for the last episode of the year. Hopefully we have a special guest. If not, we'll just do this.
Yep.
What we always do.
Yep.
Anyway, without any... Wait. What does he say? What does Kenny Omega say? I must bid you adieu.
I must bid you adieu and good night.
Bang.
Bang.